Human activities from pollution to overpopulation are driving up the Earth's temperature.
We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales.
100,000 years is a long time for us humans on this planet. Yet, the rate at which this population has plunged in the last 5 decades is extremely critical.
The destruction accelerates.
Fires have been raging in European countries, sweltering under a heatwave and drought.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi says his country is getting too hot, too early in the year.
Let's start our topic by looking at one of the greenest places of our planet. We are now looking at lush green dense forest region in the outskirts of Manaus city, which is situated very close to Amazon rainforest. It helps in soil conservation, provides oxygen and absorbs carbon. These rainforests have unparalleled biodiversity and habitat, which supports the survival of some of the keystone species and are home to so many insects, birds and big guys such as American jaguar, bear, leopard and many more. And since it provides so enriched ecosystem services, it is very logical for us humans to protect and conserve these forests. And hence in today's date, these forests are dead. The forests across the globe are changing rapidly, threatening extinction of species that have survived here for more than 1 million years. In the past 32 years, the area of interest around Manaus alone has lost more than 220 square kilometers of green cover. The consequence of deforestation, be it habitat loss, global warming, or soil erosion, are pretty well known and evident in today's date. However, the changing land use, especially the forest region into urban or barren land, causes drastic impact on the local climate zones and leads to urban heat island effects, which means the temperature of the city tends to rise higher than its suburban or rural regions. Let's take that context and see this analysis. The deforestation in Manaus region has led to increase of about 5 degrees Celsius in the mean summer land surface temperature of the region in around 30 years. And from this analysis, it is evident that higher increases of temperature are observed around the city and its extent. Well, I don't mean to generalize, but cities built in and around such habitat have done and are causing destruction to the planet to support the exponentially growing population and their needs. Let's fly back to our origin, New Delhi, India. While this city is often called as City of Dreams for people looking out for jobs and opportunity, however, it just takes one summer season to turn this city of dream into a nightmare. The average air temperature of Delhi can range from 38 degrees Celsius to 43 degrees Celsius, and the land surface temperature can go up to 46 degrees Celsius. But this year, there was some interesting imagery released by European Space Agency that drew a lot of attention. This imagery of heat wave across India was published early this year, and as per this imagery, there are many parts of India which crossed 55 degrees Celsius and some parts even touching the mark of 65 degrees Celsius temperature. 65. With that base, we are ready to check this interesting thing out. This is the land surface temperature map of Delhi for the month of May. As per this map, the darker shade of red represents higher temperatures, predominantly for the surfaces made up of asphalt and concrete. We see the average temperature of this city becomes about 35 degrees Celsius for the summer season, and it is pretty straightforward that the surface temperature is highly influenced by the surface material. That is, regions made out of concrete and asphalt are having higher temperatures in comparison to the regions covered with green cover or water. The implication of this map is very critical. The fact that these red patches are increasing in terms of quantity as well as extent, reports like these are becoming very common. Across the globe, we see increasing land surface temperature year by year. Especially after 1980s, we can see an exponential rise in the temperature anomalies, which can be strongly linked with the industrialization period during that phase. This drastic increase in the temperature anomalies could lead to processes that can trigger the tipping point for our planetary boundaries. Increased frequency of extreme heat outbursts is leading to melting of ice sheets, resulting in sea level rises and flooding coastal regions. Warmer temperatures also makes the weather more unstabilized and extreme, which leads to not only intense storms, floods and forest fire, but also longer and more frequent droughts in many regions. This has a nexus impact like growing crop becomes difficult and the local habitat of plant and animals shifts. Desertification, land degradation, depleting water bodies, ever increasing pollution are just the starting set of a negative domino, the impact of which is nothing less than a movie's Holocaust scene. The social economic dynamic around this topic is a very important point of view and study, such as how urban heat islands disproportionately impact the most vulnerable, the unprecedented energy demand and how we are unable to meet those, depleting human health. But all these narratives have already been explored by the top creators such as Soch by Mohawk, BBC News, DW News, and a lot of other top creators have already covered these. Hence, all I have to add on to this topic is provide a few practical easy wins solution, starting with generating awareness by creating such content and starting a spark around a topic which will catch fire soon. No pun intended. More importantly, instead of focusing on fast fashion, a worse way how one can destroy not just the natural resource but also their morals, we should make planting trees a cool activity. Well, there are well researched step by step plans and guidances available to address this problem of climate action across the globe. You can find few of those relevant studies in the description box below. But I feel all these texts and solutions would only work with change in mindset of people. Think about it, everything is linked back to population and their behavior towards global trend. Now, I may sound a bit preachy here, but my personal opinion is battling with climate is more like an internal battle with your morals, beliefs, materialistic demand, and situation based convenience. Now, I'm not recommending you to live a life of a monk, but live a life more rooted to your culture. And question yourself before jumping onto the new global trend or making any purchase. 99% of the time, you'll see it's not the need but the greed within you which is driving that purchase. By doing that, you're addressing consumerism, which trickles down to solving not just the climate problem but a lot of other problems as well. Well, thanks for watching. I hope that was educational. If you have anything to add or discuss, you can leave a comment in the comment box below.